This will blow your mind. Subscribe now to be the first to see the surprises. Comment, what shocked you the most in this episode?
Let's go! I'm sick of her ass! I'm sick of that shit!
Wait, you're gonna ask me to do the history books? I know that's my dad, Sam Sproul, and I know Egg is my brother, and he is the second son of the second son.
Hedge knight, you. What is this from?
I'll have you know, Sir Donald of the Kingsguard is but the son of a crabber.
Sir Donald? Of Duskendale?
Yep.
His father owns half the crabbing fleets in Westeros.
What?
Sir Duncan the Tall, a humble hedge knight, and Prince Aegon, guised as his squire, shared adventures that shaped Aegon's future kingship. Their bond ended tragically during the Summerhold disaster, where both...
You shall be king, and die in hot fire, and worms shall feed upon your ashes. And all who know you shall rejoice in your dying.
What?
You charged me to be a good knight, to defend the weak and the innocent. I swore that I would.
Why did you throw your life away for this hole?
Lionel Baratheon was gaining the nickname the Laughing Storm due to his tendency of bursting into laughter when fighting.
I have no chance.
You impudent little roach. What's happened to your hair?
I cut it off, brother. I didn't want to look like you. I want to leave. I want to leave.
I love this character because of all his flaws. He's a terrible dad. He has, he's second in line to the throne and has a kind of complex about that. He's not as clever or as learned as his brother, and so feels resentful. He's unloved by his mother, and so there's lots of things that you can build a character around that is rich and damaged, and those are the characters I like playing.
Oh, we're like a big happy family! And I'm the dad, and Logan's the mom. Why am I the mom? What gender roles are we pushing here? I know they're probably thinking I'm like the son, but I'm not. I'll be the gay emo cousin. I will be the son, the hotshot, whose only dream is to be a star. I feel like I'd be a fresh out of jail uncle. And I'm the sassy aunt who talks shit about everyone.
Baelor Targaryen, firstborn son of King Darren the Good, Prince of Dragonstone, and of the King and heir to the Iron Throne.
But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
Maybe the gods figure this is what I deserve.
Come on, little knight.
I ask you again. How good a knight are you?
And there are no true knights among you!
Lionel Baratheon Black Affair.
What did you say, Ned?
Lionel Baratheon Black Affair.
Like this Lionel. Wait, how many Lionels do we think they are? Let's check. Alright, so we have our original Baratheon Ori, the first Baratheon. Rogar, Boros, Royce, Lionel. That's Lionel. There's no other Lionels. There are no other Lionels, as far as we know, because there are some missing gaps. But this Lionel is known to be quite iconic. Don't you just love it when characters who never existed, just like they were just a word, a footnote in Game of Thrones, and now they exist? And obviously George is writing more novellas with Dunk and Egg, and there is this amazing piece of artwork with apparently Dunk and Egg going up against each other. So we know that there's more to come with Mr. Lionel Baratheon. Sorry, did I say Dunk and Egg going up against cover? I meant Dunk and Lionel. But yeah, it's amazing to see, you know, a little footnote here and a whole human being here.
Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go.
Have you noticed the elm tree and shooting star on Duncan's shield? This confirms he is Brienne's ancestor. When Brienne went to Duskendale to repaint her giant bat shield, she recalled an old shield she had once seen in her father's armory, identical to Duncan's shield. In the book, it is described like this. She remembered how she had run her fingertips over the cracked, faded paint over the green leaves of the tree, following the trail of the shooting star. And regarding Duncan's shield, the book describes it like this. Even in the lantern light, the colors of the sunset remained rich and bright. The tree stood tall and imposing, majestic in its stature, while the shooting star streaked across the oak-like night sky like a bright painted brushstroke. It's not hard to see that this is indeed the same shield. In Game of Thrones, Jaime once said that Brienne is as tall as Robert. According to Ned, Robert was 6 feet 6 inches tall, while Dunk was 6 feet 11 inches. There does seem to be a 5-inch difference. Moreover, Brienne and Duncan's experiences are strikingly similar. Both traveled across Westeros. Both strived to uphold their vows. Both suffered insults because of their appearance. Both had kind young squires. Both served in the Kingsguard, and both witnessed a king die under their protection. Such similar life paths make me even more convinced that there is an inseparable bond between the two. Besides, Martin did say that in Game of Thrones there are at least 4 descendants of Duncan. We have seen, I believe, Brienne is one of them. Do you notice how hard Egg is trying to hide his identity? That's why during the jousting tournament, Egg suddenly climbs down from Dunk's shoulders. Egg was initially drawn to the excitement of the joust, cheering happily from Dunk's shoulders. But after Valar appears, he realizes sitting on Dunk's shoulders might draw attention. After all, there are people in the crowd who know him. His expression turns serious and he immediately gets down. In fact, Egg has been working hard to conceal his identity all along. When he sees the Targaryen banners, he insists on returning to the camp, even though he was determined to stay with Dunk earlier. Clearly, he's afraid of being recognized by them. Interestingly, he never seems worried about Dunk figuring out his identity. He freely reveals the backgrounds and houses of nobles Dunk knows nothing about, even explaining the history of the knight from the crab-selling family. When Dunk asks how he knows these things, Egg just makes up an excuse, unconcerned that Dunk might uncover the truth. Even Egg's understanding of how the fire mummer's trick works, using pollen, comes from his noble upbringing, where such performances were familiar from childhood. Yet Dunk remains completely unaware of Egg's uniqueness. Still, there's a fascinating chemistry between them. While intently watching the squires run with their lances, Egg suddenly glances down at his own small hands. He realizes how tiny he is compared to the armored soldiers and half-ton temperamental animals he'll have to contend with, much like how Dunk feels vulnerable compared to other knights.
Hey man, this look pretty good, man. Where your clothes at?
Why do Aerion and Egg react so differently to the puppet show of the dragon being slain? When Egg cheered at the knight slaying the dragon scene in the puppet show, Aerion Targaryen became the most unwelcome guest in the camp. He entered, and the room went silent. Then he snapped Tancel's finger. Both are Targaryens and saw the dragon defeated, but one cheered, the other raged. Why? The key is that they saw different things. The puppet show told the tale of Serwyn of the Mirror Shield, a folk hero who uses wisdom and courage to defeat the dragon Urax. This legend, older than Targaryen rule, is loved by the people who cheer for the hero's victory. But from Aerion's perspective, everything is different. He views Targaryens as dragons on Earth, even seeing himself as a dragon in human skin. So when he sees the people cheering the dragon's defeat, he interprets it as an insult to his bloodline and divinity. This madness stems from Aerion's belief in his destiny, which leads to his eventual exile and death from drinking wildfire in a failed attempt to become a dragon. Egg's reaction is the complete opposite. He's drawn to the hero's story, seeing not the dragon slain, but the triumph of the weak over the strong through wisdom. As he told Dunk, Alice, the disabled girl, daring to stand up and fight back is in itself an act of honor. So the true message of the puppet show isn't about dragons, but rather two vastly different futures for the Targaryens. One consumed by bloodline myths, the other a king who understands and connects with the people.
Why could Egg make Dunk's horse obey him so perfectly? He could even get the horse to nod in response to his commands. And you'd never guess the truth. It was the magic in his bloodline at work all along. When Aerion was about to smash Dunk's teeth in, Egg exposed his true identity to save him. He was none other than the son of Maekar, Aerion's own brother, and a bearer of the Targaryen blood. Targaryens are born to tame dragons, and that was the real reason he could command a horse so effortlessly. The Targaryens' ability to bond with and control dragons is a magical gift, one woven into the very fabric of their blood. This is why they practiced inbreeding for centuries, to keep this magic pure and undiluted. In truth, this magic did not work only on dragons, it worked on horses too. That is why the Targaryens always produced such exceptional knights. And it was not just horses, it extended to other animals as well. Remember their conversation? Egg even hinted that he'd ridden a sheep to Ashford. No ordinary man could ever make a sheep a mount, but it all makes perfect sense if the Targaryens' animal-taming magic was at play. What's even more extraordinary is that this blood magic could even affect humans. This was the true foundation of their rule as kings and queens. Yet, the loss of their dragons had already caused this magic to fade. Do you think the Targaryens' magic still holds power over people?
They just revealed Egg's true identity in episode 3. Egg's been hiding in plain sight. He's not really a little orphan stable boy. He's actually a Targaryen prince. Egg's real identity is Prince Aegon Targaryen, who, if you know the Game of Thrones lore, later becomes King Aegon V, who Maester Aemon from Game of Thrones remembers fondly. So canonically, Egg is the great-grandfather of Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow. And he's also the grandfather of the Mad King Aerys II. And after what the showrunner said, I think this is going to be the most legendary Game of Thrones show ever. His goal is for the series to have 15 seasons and follow Dunk and Egg throughout their entire lives. 4 to 5 seasons with Egg as a child, return 10 years later with another 4 to 5 seasons with Egg as a prince, and then return again after another decade with 4 to 5 seasons as Egg as an adult. And I'm not sure if after 4 to 5 seasons he wants to fast forward 10 years into the future, or if he actually wants to wait a real life decade between each era of the show. 3 decades and 15 seasons would literally take 50 years, but he did say that it would be over the course of their lifetime and his. If that is his plan, we would literally get the greatest character arc, character development of all time. We would witness